Hey, hello. Let's work on our game. What do you think? All right. So here's my beautiful vision. We've got the question box working, and it works oh so smoothly because we spent all of that last time debugging it, bugging it again, debugging it, everything else in the world. I want to give us like a point. Let's say we get a point every time we get a question right, which is fun, but we got to be able to see our points. If you'll recall, the canvas layer is kind of our HUD. So that would be kind of a smart place to put our points. Most games put points on the HUD, right? I'm going to right click. I'm going to add child node. And I'm going to search for a label. I'll put it right there for right now. There's a better version of me that would like be super interested in positioning that correctly. Current me is just doing this. All right, text. We start the game with 0 points, so I'm going to put a 0. Doesn't look like anything because it needs a theme. I'm going to click on theme. See where it says theme? I love quick load in Godot. It makes me feel so cool because there's only one theme, so I just open it. Bam. It already knows, it remembers the font color, the size, everything in the world. So we're set up. And when we run, it should be sitting up there looking at us. Doesn't do anything, but it exists. All right, come back with me to the dice for a moment. We know how to do this, but we're going to review because we only did this like 150, 200 years ago. When the dice rolls, it comes up with its little roll score, whatever it is. And then it emits the signal, I have rolled, please do something with this data. And it sends the data. Signal. Dice has rolled, and I had to define roll. Here's my thought. Here's my thinking. We currently have this flow where the question box comes up, you answer the question, and then it goes away. I think when it goes away, it should give you a point. What happens when it goes away? What have we already done? So if it's time to go away, if the buttons aren't visible and the user clicks, it goes away. I love that. And events.emit signal question box gone. Let's send a point with this. We've already got it set up. Let's just do it. Real quick before we do this, this makes me, I don't think I have to do this, but I'm going to. I'm going to highlight Q free. I'm going to cut it. And I'm just going to put it under events. Uh-oh. Okay, I guess I'm going to type it. Cool. The other way was clearly working because, we've got the video evidence from last time, but this feels a little bit better. Sometimes Godot can get a little tangled and it can queue free the node so it can like delete the node and then ask a node that doesn't exist to emit a signal, and that's bad times. This is probably better. First, we have to get this signal set up to where it knows that it should even be emitting data with it. Oh God, where did she put that? She put it under events, baby. Beep, beep. Go to the event bus. I'm over here. I'm clicking on events.gd. I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm just going to call this variable point. Let's come back to questionbox.gd. Every time the user gets something right, we'll give them 1 point. You got it right. And I would be... We need a variable. Let me come up here first. I'm up here in declarations. Really, the user can only be right or wrong, right? So let's call the variable that even, right? Hello, var right or wrong, and it's a bool. Because you don't ask a question where they can be half right for this. That's a little complicated for just a little board game. So if you got it right, then right or wrong equals true, right? There's a way to clean this up, and I've been a little bit lazy. Copy. I'm going to paste it everywhere where it says you got it right. Maybe in another episode, I'll clean this up a little bit, but I'm not going to right now. That isn't right. Sorry. So right or wrong is false, right? Barf. Come on. So every time the user gets it right, right or wrong is true. Every time the user gets it wrong, right or wrong is false. Why was that hard to say? Come down here. Events that emit signal. Question box gone. Comma. And I want the question box to send right or wrong with it. Cool. Let's go to main.gd. Cool. Okay, so if we're gonna be keeping score, we need a score. Var score. And it's good. In my game, it's going to be an interval because I don't see the point in giving the user 3.5 points. If you have an interesting way to do that, then excellent. I'm going to default it to 0. You start the game with 0 points. I guess maybe if you were making an educational game where you were teaching the kids decimals and you could go around giving out like 2.7 points for every question, but we're going to keep it simple. Var score equals 0. Let's go down to where we actually use any of this. On question box gone, I want this function to use that point value that the signal is sending out. So I'm going to put point right in here, POINT. That's an argument. It's like, you got to take that in. You got to use that for me, bro. So it should be, where do I want to put this? I kind of want to put it here. Let me get rid of the print statement. I'll replace the print statement with this. So directly under, got it, love that. If point double equals true. So if the user's right, do you remember how to add 1 to a variable? Score equals score plus 1. If you're coming in from another language, that does not work in GD script. I'm sorry. It hurts me too physically, just for fun. Just to prove that I'm right. So let's see if we can get a score printed. All right, I've got to get this right. We are using Godot 4. I did get it right. Look at that. Look at that. I got a point. I got a point. I got a point. Now let's get it wrong. Does Godot use signals? No, that's Unity garbage. That isn't right. Sorry. It didn't print because point was false. So it never even entered this. We did it. When she's good, she's good. But it still says 0. That sucks. Let's make it unsuck. We need to talk to the label. This is actually an example of calling down and signaling up. See where main is? These are all main's children. If main talks to one of its children, that is calling down. Let's define label. Actually, I'm going to rename this. Hold on. I'm going to call it score. Do I want to call it score or score label? Let's try that. All right, control drag this bad boy in. I told you I was bad at this. Whoops, that's not right. Click, control, hold. Ooh, and she's good, she's good. Okay. So Godot's like, all right, here's score label. It's of type label. It's got the definition. I love that for us. Boop, 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 boop. Labels are ridiculously easy to manipulate in code. I love them. score, label. If you ever want to change a label's text in code, it's just the name of the label dot text equals. Why won't this work? You tell me, because we've hit this before. Boom, it's telling you down here. Value of type int cannot be assigned to a variable of type string. We had this go down in dice. We have to convert it to a string using that str method. So str score. Run it and prove I'm right. Does Godot use signals? Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? I got it right. When I click, I get a point. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that one. Just to prove that it's working the other way. Does Godot use signals? No, that's Unreal Engine. Oh, that isn't right. But look, I did not get another point. I've still got one. You could. I won't do this with you. This would be special bonus time. If you wanted score to be like, you could add 10, for example. They could get 10 points. They could get 100 points. It doesn't matter. Math's all made up anyway. If you wanted, you could go into where did we define those enums? There it is. Direction.gd. And you could add like 10 point question or whatever. I'm not going to do it. But you could have different spots be different point values. And then when you get down here, if point equals true, how did we even talk to it? I forgot. Game spaces dot place dot direction equals direction dot which way dot 10 point question, 30 point question, 90 point question. Then it would be score equals score plus 30 plus 90 plus, you get the idea. You could do that, but you've got enough knowledge to do that on your own. So I'm not going to do it with you. Instead, I'm going to hit save and I'm going to cut right here. You have an excellent one, and I will see you next time.